Hey, I'm Soman.
And I'm Ramon, and I'm not on camera because I'm not wearing any clothes! What's up, Joanne?
And this is EverNever TV.
Woohoo!
So I've been gone for a couple weeks. I was at Comic-Con. We were busy announcing the big bomb Book 4, Quest for Glory is coming out next summer. And I wanted to do an episode just solely dedicated to me talking to you about Book 4 and also sort of answering all the questions that you guys have had. We did not anticipate how many questions would come through. We've had over 1,000 questions come in. I always planned The School for Good and Evil to be sort of a big sprawling series. I thought that would almost be kind of like Star Wars, right? You would have the main trilogy that sort of told the story of Sophie and Agatha, and that was a complete trilogy. Then I felt like I would go on to do, you know, another series or go make a movie or something, and then come back and do another slew of books in the series. The thing is, my first book in my new series doesn't come out until 2018, which left a big sort of gap in my schedule of what would come out next year. And so I started thinking about, what if I just keep going? I have, you know, the time now. Why don't I just start the next arc right now? And so Book 4 was sort of born out of the fact that I had a story to tell of what happens after the end of Book 3. As soon as I started writing the book, it felt like putting on, you know, my favorite slippers, even though I don't own slippers. Speaking of slippers, I'm wearing these shorts today that are like these like weird gym shorts that feel like sweatpants, and you can't really feel anything when they're on, so that kind of feels like you're wearing underpants. And so everywhere I go, I feel like I don't have any clothes on, which is sort of the theme of the episode because Ramon isn't wearing any clothes either. So, so I had a point. What was my point?
You're naked!
I'm not going to tell you everything about, you know, the main characters and stuff. There will be a lot of new characters. There will also be the familiar trio. I'm not going to do a book without Sophie, Agatha, or Tedros in it. And of course, you know, now that we've sort of graduated them from school into their own lives, right? Sophie is now the dean of the School for Evil, and Agatha and Tedros have gone on to Camelot. We have these big questions, right? Of what happens when you take two students and make them king and queen of the biggest kingdom in all the land, right? And what happens when you take Sophie, who sort of has these grand ideas of herself and is quite, you know, self-confident, and now that she's sort of, you know, given up on love for the time being and really focused on herself, will being the dean of the School for Evil bring her everything she's wanted? The question of what's going to happen in Book 4 sort of relates to what their bigger destiny is. A new realm of their lives as they start to grow out of being sort of teenagers and into adults. And of course, at the end of the handbook, we reveal the big wedding, and Book 4 will, of course, deal with sort of the ramifications. I've explored the school quite a bit, and so now you can expect me to go beyond the school into the world of the Endless Woods and reveal some things that you've never seen before. One of the reasons I don't really have specifics and tend not to answer a lot of questions is because I don't know what's going to happen. I am not like a lot of authors who plan. I don't have really in-depth outlines. I don't have notebooks full info of what's going to happen next. Book 3, which is basically a 700-page book, was completely improvised. Every single beat in that story I sort of came up with as I went along. And so I sort of rely on my brain to put the pieces together and sort of make everything happen organically. And so I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I'm almost done with chapter 1, and that's all I know at this point in the story.
What's the title of chapter 1?
I don't have one yet.
No!
Because we've seen a cover, an early cover from Jacobo, and I think the difference between this cover and the other covers is this one's going to be a really romantic cover. First cover is very Disney. The second cover is really has that heaven and hell theme to it. The third cover is that big sort of grand epic, and this is going to be more fairy tale romance. So we'll see what you guys think of that. So a couple more updates from me to round out this episode. We have a new contest that has gone up, and that contest is for all of you to come up with the first line of Book 4. Put in the comments of that contest what you think the opening line of Book 4 should be, and we're going to give a Sophie, Agatha, or Tedros tank top to the winner of that contest. Speaking of the Sophie, Agatha, and Tedros tank tops, we're still giving those away to subscribers of EverNever TV. So get all your friends to enter, you know, get your family to enter so you increase your chances of winning, and then we're going to announce those winners after August 15th. That's all from me, Mr. Author. And next week I promise Ramon and Johan will be back because I know it's boring watching me all alone. Where's Joanne?
Joanne!
She'll be back next week, I promise.